What is up, Low Voltage Nation, man? We've got Uncle Baer on the show today. He is a security specialist, locksmith by trade, but he also does access control and cameras. And he has his own podcast, so let's get after it. We've got Uncle Baer on the show. His real name is Chris, but we're gonna call him Uncle Baer because that's what he goes by on Instagram. And hey, thank you for getting on the show, man. I didn't press the record button and we had to restart it. We were bringing the energy.
A whole show. No,
we didn't. We were bringing the energy and we're going to bring it even harder this time. I promise. But hey, man, this is so cool that, we're talking about the Instagram community. You are in security, access control. You got your own podcast. And that's kind of how we connected is I saw you on Insta and then I was in a coffee shop. I was listening to your stuff on you still with me there?
Yes.
Okay. Did you drop the mic?
I did.
All right, we good?
We're good, man. Keep going.
We will great.
Get this out.
I know we will. So I was in a coffee shop and I was listening to your stuff. I had my earbuds in and I was like, man, this guy sounds so good. I got to get him on the show and talk some shop. I was scrolling through your Instagram. I'm going to scroll through it right now. And you got some really good looking stuff. Some just a cool, page with a bunch of good pictures. And I want to kick it over to you, man. I want to say first and foremost, thanks for getting on the show and your patience with the technical difficulties. And I'm going to kick it over to you, and you're going to tell me like when you got started from day one. You started breaking stuff, fixing it, and now boom, here you are. So hit it.
Yeah, dude, thank you for having me on here. I love being ahead of this whole wave of just like an Instagram community of security. I'll tell you that in a sec. But yeah. I started out kind of back in the day. My dad was really into remodeling homes, and so he didn't necessarily flip them. He would buy them and live in them for 5 or 10 years or something like that. But he always had, with your hands doing everything from electrical to laying hardwood to painting and sanding and all that. So that was kind of my base for it. And I was looking for a career for my future family as I was about to get married. And I was walking through a Target parking lot, and dude, I don't even know where it came from, but I was like, what about a locksmith? What do locksmiths even do but like let you into your car, And I looked into it. I found Foley Bell Saw is a really good like mail-in schooling program that gives you a certificate at the end of it. And I presented that to a local locksmith. He took me on as an apprentice for a little bit, and I worked for him for, about 4 years. And then I went out on my own to do the lock work, and I kind of just took 2.5 years at my own business learning cameras and security and all of that. I'd done a little access control under the locksmith, but like one day a guy came to me and he's like, hey, we know this person, and he said that maybe you do cameras. Like I need some cameras on my my little strip mall business over here. Do you do that? And I was like, yeah, I do that, man. Let me draw up a bid and get it for you. And I had never hung a camera in my life. But I was desperate, man. I needed money. And so I was like, I will figure it out.
I love it.
And so I did that for a little while. It didn't totally pan out, but I got into working for a company called Tech Systems, which is an excellent company. And now I'm working for them doing security and cameras and control and stuff like that.
Wait, so Tech Systems, I thought they were like a recruiting agency. Is that something different or?
Yeah, I think that's something different. Tech Systems Incorporated is a national company, but they do like maintenance contracts and stuff like that. So we have a lot of big clients that are national, and we service them all across the 48 and Alaska.
That's cool. Yeah. So you work for a company right now, but you kind of go by, or you do go by Uncle Baer.
Yeah.
I actually want to hear like what's that all about? Like go ahead.
Yeah. So my company was Baer Security Solutions, and my eldest son is named Bjorn, which is Norwegian for bear. And I have nieces that called me Uncle Baer, and I was like, didn't want to get rid of this Instagram and go back to like a personal Instagram. So I was like, you know what, screw it. I'll just be the security's crazy uncle, and I'll be Uncle Baer,
It's actually a good it's a good brand. So but what it's spelled Baer.
Yes, that was
Right.
because, Twitter handles and Gmails were taken, but and it's
I mean,
also German. That's
I
the
was gonna
German
say, is
spelling.
it German? I was gonna
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
I don't know much about German like spelling of stuff, but it just looked German. I was like, okay, cool, man.
Yeah. I got German in me somewhere, so we're good. We're
Yeah,
good.
I thought your last name was Bear. That was my assumption, but it's like
No, that was a
Chris
good
something or
assumption.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What so what challenges there was a time in your life when you were like kind of out of business. I think that's what you talked about. Like how was that challenging and like what was the solution for it?
Definitely. So I had my own business, and as anybody who has their own business knows, that just requires a ton of effort. And at the beginning, there just isn't really a ton of reward. You kind of have to dig and grind through it, and that put a lot of strain on the family. It was a big choice to kind of leave the business and go to working as an employee again in the field, because the business itself wasn't necessarily doing poorly at the time that I chose to leave. It was doing all right. It was maintaining, and but I just wanted to get more into the commercial sector. I wanted to do bigger things, and it was a tough decision, but I left it, and so that was kind of a challenge. And I know that there's a lot of guys on Instagram that have their own business and they're pumping it out and they're doing excellent. And I also know that they probably feel like they're drowning too. And
Right.
I can relate to that, man. You're not alone, and it takes kind of reaching out, making sure that you understand you're not alone in that, because that's a rough road.
Oh yeah. Yeah, totally agree, man. And yeah, we can bring together these people, on Instagram especially and help each other. It's such a cool thing to be rolling around, the city and you're like, "Oh gosh, what do I do now?" But you can get on Instagram and start DMing people and figure it out. So it's
Yeah,
a
for
cool
sure.
thing. Yeah. What's what's up with the pantsless story? Like did somebody answer the door, you're like delivering pizza or something? Like, what's
No,
going
no, no. So, dude, I'm telling you right now, if you work in the locksmith industry, you see some weird stuff. Okay, you got to go into people's weird houses and do weird that are doing weird things and like do that. So I was
Yeah.
working on this house, and I was cutting out the strike for into the frame for a deadbolt, right? And it was getting late, and they had to be somewhere, and it was like, this really sociable guy, but his wife was like not really around, and I never saw her when I was over that evening changing his locks and putting this deadbolt on and stuff. And he's like, "Can you just come back in the morning?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, no problem. I'll come back in the morning." He's like, "I won't be here, but my wife will." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, no problem." So I go home, and then I get up the next morning, and I'll make my way over there, and I ring the doorbell, and this like smaller Asian woman in just a sweatshirt is answered the door pantless. And I'm like, I'm the locksmith, and I'm here to finish the work I was doing." And she's like, "Okay." And she just goes upstairs. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't know if she remembers that she didn't have pants on,
probably
but
not.
it was nuts, man. So that was just one of like tons of stories where from warrants to, like guys, it is crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, it happened, man. When you deal with people like in that capacity and just it's just a numbers game. It's gonna happen. Somebody's not gonna be wearing
Right.
pants when you're trying to do your job.
It's only a matter of time, man.
Oh man, that's so funny, man. So Matt the influence. Who is Matt and how did he help you along with your career?
Yeah, totally. So before I was a locksmith, I was working for a guy who had his own business. He was an entrepreneur, and we he had an eBay store that's still functionable today called Wheel Collectors, and it
Wheel
sells Hot Wheels
cool.
from all years. And I'm not kidding, man. We pumped so many Hot Wheels out of that place. We probably had 150,000 Hot Wheels in the warehouse, just like organized by year and by like set that came out and stuff like that. And I mean, he would run the business and do the buying and stuff like that. And I was the shipping manager, and he was just an awesome guy, and he understood how to shape the mindset to be the type of mind that like takes it to the next level. And he really instilled that in me, just to be like the hustler, to get the itch to like get the next thing and get as far as you can and get on top. So it was legit. But yeah, selling Hot Wheels with Matt the influencer, man.
Cool, man. And then I've never heard of this show, but it's called The Hunt on
Yes.
and it's on net. I don't even have Netflix, but it's on Netflix. And like how is this an integral part of your journey?
Dude, yes. You first of all, you got to get Netflix, okay? For
I
just
don't
for the
I don't have to do anything.
Oh,
Do
you're
what I
right. You're
want.
right. You're right. You're right. My bad. My bad.
Okay.
No, but on Netflix, there's this 6 or 7 episode season called The Hunt, and it's by National Geographic.
Oh,
And there's
cool.
this one episode that these African wild dogs are chasing down a herd of like bison, or not bison, but like buffalo over there.
Yeah.
The things that killed Simba's dad. They're chasing one of those, and
Hyena?
the say it again. Wildebeest. Yeah.
Wildebeest. I thought it was like hyenas.
No, no,
No.
no. Like the packs of wildebeest that like, you know, go
Yeah.
on stampedes and stuff. And these
Gotcha.
wild dogs are chasing them. And just the videography is amazing. And I was at a really hard point in my business.
Yeah.
And dude, it was just like the animal instinct was,
Yeah.
pushed through the TV. And I was like, yes, I have to chase this down and get it.
Yes.
And
I love
it
it.
just, yeah, man, it just like pushed my heart to even more than that I'd received from Matt, just to kind of be that type of person that
Yeah.
goes out and makes the opportunity.
That's so
So
cool, man. I'm looking at it right now. I'm on the Netflix.com
the
website.
Netflix,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. It's not done. It's Netflix.com. And I'm looking at some pretty amazing photographs of some pretty cool animals. And I dig it, man. I might just shell out the what is it, $12 a month at this point?
They might give you a free month. Who knows?
They might. They should give me like a free year for me promoting their stuff right now on my
That's
show
what I'm talking about.
with all 62 listeners.
Send an email, man. Send an email.
Yeah. I'll get on Twitter.
There you go. Create that opportunity.
That's right. Man. Yeah, it's out there. Just gotta attack it like a wildebeest. Oh man, what are we talking about, man? That's funny. So your everyday carry. I've never heard anybody say this, but you said Mad Bob lockpicks. Like,
Dude.
what are you doing with the lockpicks?
Well, first of all, they are one of the premier lockpick making like manufacturers, but they're over in the UK, but they ship here, and they have this little like handheld kit that's in a little like I don't know the type of like molly on like a tack vest. It's like that material.
Yeah.
And I carry one in my pocket, and I can't tell you how many times, because of being a locksmith, it's easy. Just there it is, right there, that green one. That's the one that I carry.
Oh,
And,
so okay, you're watching me click on stuff right now.
yes, I am.
Oh, good. Okay, cool. All right, the
And-
green ones. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you
And
go.
it saves me when I need to get into a can and I don't have the
Yeah.
key. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just a little-
right. That happens like almost every day for me.
Yeah, there you go. Well, that's what you need, man. And check them out and follow them. There they are.
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
They're
yeah.
solid.
Mad Bob lockpicks
There
on
it is.
Instagram. Yeah, that's cool, man. So I'm gonna get a free Netflix account and a free starter kit from Mad Bob. I'm so excited. I'll give you my mailing address.
You're racking it in, man.
That's funny. Coast flashlight. What do you do with the Coast flashlight?
Okay, so Coast flashlight, that's the home depot, and it's solid, man. It's just a little
Okay.
pin light, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
bright, and it's the
Yeah.
service light, so it's like a perfect circle. So
Yeah.
and
I'm just looking at it right now.
yeah, that G20 right there.
The G20 right here.
Yeah.
Mm. Are you being serious? Is that like
That's it, man. That's it.
Really?
I laughed because it's like, what's that hip hop song about flying in a G20 or something? I don't even know.
No idea.
But
Uncle Baer, I don't know, man.
that's a solid flashlight, though.
Is it
That's a
really?
solid flashlight, yeah. And then I also carry just a Klein electrician's knife. It's got just
Yeah.
a couple gauges on top of the knife to strip wire, and it stays pretty sharp, and it's my go-tos.
Flying
But
electrician knife. Let me look it up on Amazon. Oh,
yeah,
fly,
that one, that silver one right there
right
that your
here.
mouse is on. Yep, that's it right there, man.
Look at that.
And
Look at
that's my EDC. I know that some guys go crazy on that stuff. You see
oh the
pictures and they got
what?
like crazy stuff.
Yeah, yeah. The oh, you said EDC. So yeah, you're in the EDC game, huh? The everyday
Oh,
carry.
you know.
I love it.
Yeah.
Productivity tools. Oh yeah, so you guys are using Teams and SharePoint. I don't think anybody gets as excited about Teams and SharePoint as I do. But so
Yeah.
how are you guys using it? Is it a pretty like mature installation of it where everybody's using it and adopting it and all that? Like how's that go down?
Yeah. So we have like 300 employees all across the nation. And
Okay,
so
well,
we use SharePoint to kind of keep all of our documents into one place. If you need to
cool.
do
Yeah.
an RMA or if you need to, check inventory or something like that. And then we use Teams for all the meetings from regional meetings to it's an employee owned company. So if we do meetings on shareholdings and stuff like that, and so it's solid. It Teams is really really easy. You can download the app on your phone, and I can't tell
Yeah.
you how many times I've been on the road and
Yeah.
need to be in a meeting. You just boop, pull it
Boop.
in, and you
Yep.
listen. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and me being in the IT department, actually, can do remote support pretty easily because like everybody was supposed to be, on Teams, but I can just remote into their computer and take control of it pretty quickly using that. So it's kind of
yeah,
cool.
totally.
Yep. So what's one piece of advice you would give somebody that's taking a similar path? You mentioned wearing many hats. Explain what you mean by that.
Yeah, so you'll get guys, and I think that there's value in finding that piece of the craft and mastering it. And I mean, I have mad respect for all craftsmen of all shapes and sizes. I love woodworking. I can't do it to save my life, but
Yeah, same here.
watching it is just remarkable at
Yeah.
the way that they master that craft. But in the security and low voltage realm, wearing those many hats is actually a great way to get ahead.
Ah,
Uh,
yeah.
Always, being willing to learn the next system or, being willing to reach out and connect with. I know that you had Brian on here maybe
Mhm.
last week or a week ago or something. And
Brian, Akerley or
yeah,
who?
from A&B
Yeah,
Locksmith.
that was a couple days ago, actually. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
right
Cool.
on.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Cool guy, man. That guy's legit. Yeah.
dude,
That
so
that
when
was
I had
sick.
my own business, I reached out to him because I saw him putting PDK in, and I was like,
Okay.
dude, what is that? And he called me and we talked, and sweet guy. And just being able to like reach out to a company like that and be like, I want to put your stuff in. Most of the time, they'll be like, okay, let me show you how. Let me give you this, give you that. And
Yeah.
trying to get as many things under your belt as possible is just a great way. Because honestly, when it comes down to the principles of it, like terminating wire or, the philosophically designing things, it's all pretty similar across
Sure.
the low voltage way and knowing relays and stuff like that. So, with those principles, you can really carry a vast amount of knowledge in your tool belt. And when you come up to something new, it goes that much quicker and you can just, nail it.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. You explained it like that. I kind of was wondering where you're going with, being a jack of all trades, master of not necessarily anything. But that's actually really cool because it applies very specifically to low voltage. I can see that in my day to day when I'm working with access control system surveillance, and, intrusion, and then doing the network administration side. It's all connected, so you're going to have to deal with it in some capacity throughout your day, and having some fundamental understanding of how it works is incredibly useful. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, and I think also it's pretty integral and pretty important that if you're in the industry right now, you're also doing a lot of focus on your knowledge base in networking and on that like gray line between IT and the integrator,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
really helping pull that bridge together because that is the next thing, as
yeah.
in tomorrow. We
It's yeah, right now. I mean, it's
Yeah.
here. IP is here, and it's part of your workflow as a low volt technician. So
Right.
It would behoove you to take some classes on it for sure.
Definitely.
Where do you live? I think you told me, but I forget.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I'm out of Kansas City,
okay. Yeah,
born and
actually,
bred.
I knew that actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And yeah, KC's awesome. You should come visit.
Is it? Yeah, I don't think I've ever been. I've traveled a lot for work, and I don't think I've ever been there, to be honest.
It's kind of a hidden gem. Like not a
Is
lot of
it?
people go, but once you get there, dude, there's tons to do, and people are really good in that town. So
Oh man, I'm getting a bunch of notifications for the ambassador mastermind meeting I was talking about. I just sent out the invite.
yeah, yeah.
We got 17 people on the ambassador group right now, and it's the next show's gonna, or the next meeting is gonna be on access control, and we got some pretty cool folks coming on there. Actually, your boy Brian's gonna be on there, man. He marked his calendar. He's gonna be hanging out and talking access control, and I want to talk about PDK as well. So
Yeah,
you
man. Awesome.
you might want to hop on there if you got some time on Sunday.
Definitely.
Cool. I'll get you on the list if that's cool, man. I'll send you an invite.
Go for it, man. I'm all down for the community.
Heck yeah. Cool. What else we got? I think that's about it, right?
Your last little bit there, build the community. I
Yeah,
think that's
yeah,
huge, man.
it is. Well, we're gonna talk about your Instagram, so that's where we can find you. I don't think we talked about that, but Uncle Baer, is it
Yep.
Uncle Baer underscore?
Maybe I don't know.
I think yeah,
Yes.
it's Uncle
Yeah.
Baer underscore, and yeah, you got a pretty good following, and got a lot of great pictures, kind of showcasing what you're doing throughout the day, and I think it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
I appreciate it. I
Oh,
like pumping that stuff out, man. Yeah, dude. Click
I
over
love.
one.
What is that?
That
That's
is Software House.
oh man.
That's what it was.
Oh, and then you cleaned it up.
Yeah, dude. That was a
Wow.
takeover that
For
we did.
the people that are listening, we're looking at an access control panel that Uncle Bear cleaned up, and it looks phenomenal. Cable management when he's using Velcro. That's Velcro, right?
That is Velcro, yeah.
My man.
I know that as an IT guy, you're like, oh, thank goodness somebody
Yeah,
else
yeah,
out there uses Velcro.
yeah. You got some Veto Pack stuff. Is that a Veto Pack? What is
That
that?
is a Veto Pack, man. You can't go wrong without Veto Pack. They're on
Mhm.
Instagram too. I'm telling you, man, the community out there is just solid.
It's huge. It's huge. What else we got on your Instagram?
So you can see some of the lock work there. And
yeah. Lock work. Oh yeah. Where is it?
Yeah, my bad. That's another thing, and that's what Brian was talking about is Milwaukee, dude. You cannot go wrong with Milwaukee, and they got that pack out system, and that thing travels in the side door of my van. So you get out, pop that side door. You can take whatever you need from your connect. That's my connectors case.
Yeah,
and it's legitimate.
I need to level up, man. My tool bag is shameful. I use Milwaukee. I have the same ones you have, the impact driver and the drill, the 12, and definitely use that. It's on my hip all the time. But you're a lot more organized than I am.
Hey,
I mean,
man,
I'm organized, but man, like
and then I take a photo and then I put it up.
Yeah. It's so funny. The last guy I talked with, who's your Sparky, last night, man, he is like an organized, he's an organizer, man. He just like everything is just like he has his own bags for access control and one for like CCTV. So like he's just like really like anal about it, which is so cool.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, a perk to or like a praise of the show is I literally saw your Insta story about doing a podcast with him, and him and I were talking just an hour before we came on, man. So
oh really? That's cool.
Yeah, so it's good to get out there, and anybody who listens to your show, like, feel free to DM and just chat or ask questions or whatever it is, because it's a great tool. I love it, man.
It's so cool. Yeah, I'm eventually going to take this on the road. So all my guests, I think I've done 26. You're my 26th. I think after like 100, I'm going to take it on the road, trying, pull in some sort of like funding somehow, like, or maybe save up some money. But I want to take it on the road and like visit everybody and like go do some work and like get a bunch of video and do another podcast follow up. That's the goal.
Yes. That would be That would
What do
be
you think?
awesome.
Is it? That sounds pretty cool, doesn't it? That's a good
Dude,
idea, right?
yeah, man. And you
Yeah.
can come out and work with me, man.
That's
Totally.
what I'm talking about, man. Like I'm a skilled worker. I know how to run. Like we were talking about nurse call systems. Like I know how to do nurse call. So
Yeah,
it's just like I can do a lot. Hard worker, and I know network infrastructure, and IP stuff. That's kind of my beat. So
definitely. And
rock and roll. Yep.
another place that they can find me is that podcast, Security Today.
Oh yeah,
which
yeah, yeah.
is
Okay. So it's security today. I'm writing this down in the show
that.
notes. And
Yeah,
then
that also has an Instagram, just Security Today podcast. And
okay, cool. Yeah,
it
yeah.
had been more on the informational side, and I kind of took a break from it because I'm studying the As Is PSP certification, which you should
Okay,
check
cool.
out. As
Yeah.
Is also, but when it
Here,
comes back, I'm kind of gonna vamp it
here's
just a little bit, be a little bit more of a, you know, more of a talk show vibe because it was pretty informational and it was taking a lot of time to build the podcast
yeah.
itself. So,
I
but
got you.
I try
Yeah.
to throw up articles I find that interest me and stuff. So check that out too.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down and kind of promote that. Secure. I'll put that in the description when I publish it to Anchor and iTunes and all that. So
Right
cool,
on.
man. My
Well,
friend, this was actually really fun. I really appreciate you taking some time out of your evening and hanging out and jamming out. We had a good time, man. Really dig the vibe. Really dig what you got going on, and we'll definitely be in touch and do some
yeah,
stuff in
man.
the future. So
Well, I
yeah, it's
appreciate
good.
it, and just keep doing what you're doing, and have me on anytime, man. I'm here for it. This is awesome.
Uncle Bear, have a good night.
All right, dude. See you later.
Take care. Bye.